Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna be reconstructing my almost annual average, which was a 6.61 that I got in a final. I think this is my best ever performance that I got in a 3-buddy finals. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so for the first solve, I did orange cross and I planned 2 pairs, which were both the white pieces or the white pairs. Basically, what I was doing was just L, which solved this blue and white edge, and then I did a U prime to attach the corner to the blue and orange edge. Basically, I was just gonna make an X cross with this block with the blue and white pair, and then I just solved the cross by doing R D2 R prime D prime, and then I also inspected these 2 pairs in inspection, so I can just solve that normally, like so. And then now I'm left with my last 2 pairs. So in the solve, what I did was a rotation. I solved these 2 pairs, rotated again, and then solved these 2. Now, a better way I could have done this was solve this pair like so that I get a free pair, and also I orient my my edges so that I can potentially get a Z build that I know. But if I had just inserted this normally, I still would have gotten a Z build that I don't know. But yeah, this is still a solution that I should have done instead. But yeah, I got this in the actual solve, and I know that just by doing a lot of solve, I know that this was just gonna be a U prime into a U perm. So yeah, and then I can just do a U prime AOF like that. So yeah, besides that last 2 pair mistake, or more so the third pair mistake that I made, I think the solve was pretty good overall. So yeah. So for the second pair, or sorry, the second solve, I did a white cross, and I planned 2 pairs, which were both the green pairs on the back here. I first just did my cross solution normally by doing D R2 D R prime, and then what I was gonna do is solve this last edge whilst also making this a 3 move pair, and you can do that by doing U prime R prime F. And before you do an R, you can do a U to make this a free pair like so. So you can just solve that into the back. Next, I had my second pair here, which I should have probably just done it like so. So basically just R to R prime into a free pair. But what I did instead was U2, R, U prime, R prime, U, and then just insert into the back like so. Now I had my last 2 pairs now. The solution that I did was solving this first by doing U2, F prime, U prime, F, solving the pair, and then just solving these 2. But a better way that I probably should have done is just solve this by doing that, and then I would have just gotten this, which I usually just do a sledge and then insert it. But probably in this case I wouldn't have done this. But I think between these 2 solutions, I think they're both like the same thing. Maybe this one is a bit better, but yeah, I don't think this is like a big mistake overall. But yeah, just something to show. So yeah, in the actual solve, I got this OLL, which I just did like that, U, and then GA perm. But I plus 2, so yeah. It ended up being a 8.50 instead of a 6.50. So yeah. I almost DNF'd. Okay, so for the third solve, I did a red cross, and again, planning 2 pairs. which were both the blue pairs on the back here. Basically what I did was I noticed that these two were solved, and basically I just solved this last edge by doing R prime FR so that I can get a 3-move pair, which was this one. So I rotated, insert it to the back like so. Whilst I was doing that, I knew that basically I was just gonna cancel into this by doing R2 U R prime, U prime, and then just solving into the back like so. Then I did F prime. So yeah, this is what I planned in inspection. And for my last two pairs, what I thought was the best solution was doing U prime L prime, F prime U prime F, L. The reason why I did this third pair like that was because I was trying to make a free pair as well for my last pair, so I can just insert it like that. But actually, if I just done this pair first by doing U prime L prime U prime L, once I inserted it, I would have just gotten a free pair. So yeah, I tried to be creative, but yeah, it didn't it didn't really work out. In the solve, I just got this OLL, which I knew was gonna be U perm, so I just did a U prime, U perm, and then a U AUF. So yeah. Also, I forgot to mention this, but the best solution for this solve was actually doing white. I'm not sure if people like Leon or Kentaro noticed this, but what I would have done if I had done white was make a double X cross with the red pieces by doing R F prime R2 R2 L prime, and then we can do a D2 U, and then insert this edge whilst also solving the our last cross edge like that. Next, you can solve these two pairs like so, and then for this last pair, there's a nice ZBLS you can do, which basically means that we can solve this pair whilst also orienting our last our edges. Basically, if we do something like that, and then now we can just get this easy ZBL or like a commutator, if you can call it like that. So yeah, I probably should have done white because that solve was, I think, 34 moves. I wonder if the people that only do like white or white and yellow saw that, but yeah. Oh, wait, type PR. Oh my gosh.
Possible average and hard.
Yeah.
Picture. Possible and hard.
Please don't say that.
Don't make it nervous.
Okay, so for the fourth solve, this is my best solve, and I think my best solution, because I don't think there was any kind of mistakes in my solution that I did. Basically, what I did was just, I noticed this pair, and so I made an X cross by doing R prime D prime U2R to solve this D prime L, so I can get an X cross. And then I also inspected this in inspection by doing, so I just did R prime U prime R, rotated, and then solving like that. Now, what that ended up doing was solving EO, which means my last two pairs were just gonna be R and U, which is quite nice. And so I just did this pair. And what I noticed was that basically at this point, I knew what solution that I needed to do to solve both pairs. And so the solution was just solving this pair normally and then canceling into this pair like that. And then just getting the CBLL, which had a U2 AUF. So yeah. Yep.
8 seconds.
Okay, so for the last solve, yeah, this is pretty heartbreaking because the solution that I did was pretty nice as well. I did a double X cross, or sorry, I just inspected two pairs by making an X cross and a free pair. So how I did that was just F prime L prime, and then I can do a D prime U, which makes this square and solve this edge. So I can just solve the square and then insert the edge. So R prime FR, and then before I do an L prime, I can do a U prime and then an L prime to make this pair. Then just rotate and then insert like that. So this is what I inspected. So this is what I planned in inspection. And then next, I solve the back pair first because I know that if I solve this, I can cancel into my front left pair. So I can do like that and then insert. Now, last layer. I probably just should have done this normally and then got a wiper. But what I did instead was, I think, so it was from this position, right? So I did a U prime, F, audio R prime U prime, F prime, and then got this ZBLL. It's just audio to R prime U prime, and then get this window relation. But as you can see in the solve, I just messed up on this part. I don't, I don't really know. I think it was just like a combination of nervousness and that someone who I shall not name basically just said, "Hey, you can get an R," which probably made me not get an R, and just made me like more nervous than I was. So yeah, to the person who's watching this, please don't do that anymore. If you want me to get an R, yeah, this could have been the first sub 6 average. Um, if you want me to reconstruct more solves, uh, let me know. And I think that's it for this video. I don't have anything else to add, so yeah, thank you for watching.